Hey YouTube, what's going on? Chris here. I want to bring you all an update today of Bitcoin, XRP, and Litecoin. Those are three we're going to go over. And what I wanted to do today was really look at price action, spend some time on it, and really see where we potentially could be going for Bitcoin. And what we're going to be looking at is the potential for Bitcoin bottoming and also where we would go if this is not the bottom. So what I want to cover with you here is digging in and taking a look to see if this is our bottom right down in here around that $6,400 range. And the reason why I'm looking at it, I'm saying, this is a possibility. And remember, guys, it's just a possibility of what it could be. A double bottom, it's more significant the more time that you see in between space here. And what happened was we set a bottom November 25th, 2019, and then we had a bullish engulfing candle on December 18th, 2019. So you had this spread right here of almost a month, and that area of support was respected around that $6,400. And what you saw was a bullish engulfing candle stepping in at that same area with more volume. So that was a good thing for us. But what we need to see now is that continuation. And as we are stepping back looking at this, now we're having a fight. If we go from our swing low up to our swing high, and I'll throw this on our Fibonacci, we're having a big fight over the 0.618. And that area, that's a key area for many traders. They'll look for a big bounce off that. And a lot of times you'll see a move from the 0.618 up to the 0.382. We're nowhere near that right now, but you can see this battle taking place over it. And we're basically looking at now whether we're going to respect that and hold that as support, and we're going to make this next move up, or if we're going to start dropping back down to basically test that $6,400 range again. But everything's dependent right now, in my opinion, on this 0.618. The bulls and the bears, you have to think about it as a fight, and they're fighting back and forth over that level right now. And that's what we're waiting to see, is that break. And that's why the candle is so tight right now. What you're looking at is a short day candle, and that's a lot of fight and a lot of indecision taking place. If we zoom in here, you can see a lot of fight over this key area. But what Bitcoin needs to do is get up above this 50-day moving average. A lot of people will look at the 50-day moving average, many traders, and you can see once we gained or basically closed up above it here on February 18th, 2019, we were up above it basically this entire move, all of the beginning of 2019. So looking at that 50-day moving average is very significant in my opinion. And what's happening now is we've wicked up to it, so we're testing it, we're feeling it out, and now we're going to see if we're going to get that next move up above it, or if that's going to act as overhead resistance for us. Because guys, we've basically been in a downtrend, in this downtrend channel, for about 6 months now. But that's the bullish case, is the fact that we have this double bottom taking place. We have a bullish engulfing candle taking place right here on more volume, and we have a fight over that 0.618. But like I said, if we fall to the downside, really look to see if that $6,400 is going to hold, or the bottom of this channel. But overall, I've been telling you this for a while, guys. For me to want to accumulate Bitcoin and take a strong long position, not just short-term trading, a position that you want to hold for quite a while, I want to see a break out of this downtrend channel with a beautiful, strong, bullish candlestick close up above it by 3 to 5% on heavy volume, and then that would be the spot for me. I know we have a trend line break, and most likely we could really start running up to big numbers. When you get a trend line break out of a range or a downtrend channel that you've been in for 6 months, and you have a strong break out of that with heavy volume, that could be significant. That could allow us to go back up here and test that $1,400 ultimately as we go up and make our higher highs and higher lows. But that's what I'm looking for Bitcoin here. I want to see if this is the bottom, because $6,400 potentially could be that bottom. But right now we're working between that $6,400 and a resistance of $7,800, and we're going to have to see what happens in the days to come. And I believe it is going to be in the days to come pretty soon here. We're going to decide if we're going to pop out of here, or if we're just going to keep dropping back down and having lower highs and lower lows coming in. So that's what I'm looking for Bitcoin, guys. If you get some from that, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We're going to move on to XRP. And for XRP, and also I want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas as well. I'm not going to be here doing videos tomorrow. I'm going to be spending some time with my family, but I wanted to wish everybody out there a Merry Christmas. So with XRP, what you can see is we're still in this pure downtrend. And this downtrend started in June 2019, and ever since then we've been having these lower highs and lower lows coming in. And we're also below this 50 moving average, which is significant, guys. The 50-day moving average, you'll see all throughout the charts. If you pay attention to it, there's usually a fight. It'll either act as support or it'll be resistance for you, depending on which way you're trading the market. But for XRP right now, we're still just having lower highs and lower lows coming in. And what we were looking for here is to see if this was our volume climax. That's where basically all the weak hands sold right there. And since then, we've been moving sideways, kind of consolidating. So we're going to see if this, whenever you move sideways like this, we're going to see if this is putting in some type of a bottom where we can start to come back up here and challenge this 50-day moving average as well as this yellow downtrend line, or if we're just going to move sideways and then have another dump to the downside. So that's what we need to pay attention to. For XRP, we desperately need to hold around that 17 cents range, and then to the upside, I want to see us start breaking out over top of 23 cents, because remember, like I was talking about with Bitcoin, we need to start making higher highs and higher lows. Now, in terms of the indicators, we're looking at the stock at 84 and 78, so we are getting up to that overbought territory right now, but that could still go much higher, and it could stay extended up there for quite a while as well. That's always a possibility. And then your relative strength index, we're looking at 35, so we're about 5 ticks above oversold territory right now. So, you know, guys, this could be the spot where we just move sideways for a while, kind of gain some strength, and then try to start making moves. But for me to start wanting to buy XRP, just like Bitcoin, I want to see us up above this 50-day moving average, and I want to see us break this yellow downtrend line on heavy volume to the upside. That's what I'm going to be looking at least. So that's XRP right now, guys. I would just be careful. More so, I would be watching the market and just kind of having a strategy, having a plan right now, because we're still in that pure downtrend. You can see how we've just really been moving, but we are starting to have a little bit of bullish divergence here on the stochastic. So we're going to keep an eye out on that. And if you like me covering XRP, guys, smash that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and then we'll move on to Litecoin. And Litecoin's sitting at $40 right now, and it truly is decision time for Litecoin. We are directly at this white downtrend line. You can see we came up here and tested it, and that was around that $43, and then we started to see a little bit of rejection. So we're sitting directly on this downtrend line right now, and we're just patiently waiting to see if Litecoin's going to drop down for another lower low, or if we're going to pop out of here and get a big stick of volume, because that's what we need. We need big, strong volume, something in the range of like this type of stick coming out of here to get us up above this 50-day moving average as well. And that's the trouble with Litecoin right now. As we've been in this pure downtrend that we've been looking at, we also have this 50-day moving average pressing down upon us. So that's another resistance area that we're going to have to watch out for. You can see even up here how we've hit it many times, and then you see another dump back down. So we need strong volume to get up above that right now. For me, I'm out of Litecoin right now, just being patient, waiting for a good opportunity. And if it is that trend line break and it comes on big volume, then, you know, guys, a lot of times people will see that big break come out, and then they'll wait for that next pullback, that higher low, and then that's when they'll get in, finding support on top of that 50-day moving average as well. And then you long it and you try to get that next leg up. Just like over here, do you see how we were making higher highs and higher lows that were coming in? Now this is the opposite. Lower highs and lower lows have been coming in. So now we have to get up above $48 to start making higher highs and then hopefully a higher low. But with the stochastic, we're up here around 87 and 91. We are in that overbought territory right now, and it looks like we are getting a little bit of a cross to the downside. So I want to put that on your radar. And then the RSI is at 38 right now. And what you have to remember, guys, and this is all on the one-day chart, but what you have to remember is these levels can get very extreme, both to the upside and the downside. The RSI over here got up to 87, almost 88. So you have to remember that, because when you read these books, they'll say at 70 you're getting into that overbought territory, but for cryptocurrency it can get up into the 90s and you can miss a huge portion of the run. So that's why you always want to look at price action first. That's going to be king of the chart, and then you want to start using those indicators and, you know, moving averages, different things like that, but always look for that trend and which way the trend's going. And then to the downside, we've seen the RSI get as low as 13. And that's how crazy things can get in this space. But what I like to use is trend line breaks on the RSI. This is a big tip that I want to give to y'all. So just like this, here would have been my trend line. When we broke down through there, it was also on a little bit of volume as well. But our RSI went from 62 all the way down to 34, and that's a big price change. And those are the price changes that you want to save yourself from. So playing these RSI trend line breaks, and then you look at the price action as well as you're doing this, and it can give you a lot of clues and insights as to what's taking place. But ultimately, you want to pay attention to what type of trend are you in. Are you in an uptrend? Is this where you want to be buying retracements, or you want to be buying these dips around the 50-day moving average? Or are you in a downtrend and you're buying these low areas, but you realize that you need to sell out once you get to these spots, and you're just playing a reaction? So that depends on the trend. Here you're buying the dip, which is great. Over here, you don't necessarily want to buy the dip unless you're being a short-term trader and you're selling the reaction after you've made this move and you get up to key areas and you see weakness. Then you would sell, or you'd move your stop loss up to a trailing stop loss and let your, the price basically ping you out. So, guys, that's what I want to put on your radar. The volume's getting low. A lot of, area right here for Litecoin to decide, but I believe it's going to be decided by Bitcoin. When Bitcoin breaks, either to the upside or downside, Litecoin's going to roll with it. So let's expect a big move. It should be coming, and just have your plan. Plan for what you want to do in this market. You always need a plan. So that's what I want to bring to you. I hope you guys learned a little something about trends today. God bless each and every one of you, and Merry Christmas to you guys. Take care.